What's up, everybody? Z3KO Trinity here, back with another Goosebumps review. Today I'm going to be doing a review on The Girl Who Cried Who Cried Monster. Now, I've been reading this book for months and months now, putting it off. I would read like 10 pages, then start over again. But I finally sat my fat ass down and I read this book. And I have to say, this book is one of the best Goosebumps books I've read. Way different than the episode on TV. I'm going to go on a limb and say that I've never really liked that episode on TV. I felt it was way too cheesy. The acting was really bad. The only thing I really did like about it was the cool twist, and I liked how they made Mr. Mortman look, like when he turned into the monster. I thought that was really cool. I liked the way they made him look in the episode. But all in all, the book is far superior to the episode, and if you don't know what it's about a girl who is obsessed with monsters. She constantly is talking about monsters to her little brother, trying to scare him to shit himself. She always makes up these random ass monsters. There's a toe-biting monster. There's a monster that mows your grass. There's a monster that comes out during the daytime and jumps in swimming pools. I mean, she's like all the time making up some ridiculous monster. There's a monster on YouTube named El Manuel. He tries to get people to subscribe and watch his TikTok videos. I mean, she makes up all kinds of monsters and stuff, trying to scare the shit out of her little brother. So he's going to grow up petrified and become like, I don't even know, he's going to become house-ridden where he just stays home all his life. But anyway, she thinks it's all funny. Her parents are fed up with it. You know, stop talking about monsters. We don't want to hear it. Stop scaring your brother. All that good stuff. And she even does it to her friend Aaron. He comes over and she tells him about this monster that she found in a tree. Which she gets up there and knocks, like, I think it was a bird's nest or something. And it falls on him. And he goes, and then takes off running. But she's all the time talking about monsters nonstop. Well, for summer, she enrolls in a reading program. What was it called again? I forgot what it was called. Some kind of goofy rainbow reading for rainbow lovers or something. I don't know. Some kind of random reading event. But anyway, she has to go to the library once a week and pick out a new book to read for her program and stuff like that. And she has to do that all summer long. I'm still trying to figure out the name of it. I'm not really seeing it right off the bat. I think it's Reading Rangers. I'm pretty sure it's Reading Rangers. But I could be wrong. And you'll definitely comment below and let me know that I'm wrong. But anyway, she goes to the library where she sees this dude right here, Mr. Mortman. He's all creepy. His hands are always wet. And if you read it, there's a lot of sexual innuendos in this book. I'm telling you. Like, she came in and it said had a girl perched on his desk and stuff like that. Gave her a gold star. All kinds of stuff like that. But there's just a lot of really weird sexual hidden innuendos in here. But he's a really slimy kind of guy. He's nerdy. He has like turtles in his little tank on his desk. People don't want to touch him. Every time he touches books, he leaves like a liquidy residue on them. He's just a really gross guy. So, that's the way I look when I see tacos and cheeseburgers. I'm like, ah. But anyway, she forgets her rollerblades, and she goes back in. Well, she starts to spy on him a little bit, and he turns into this monster creature, and he starts eating on flies. He takes flies out of this jar, starts munching down on them. He takes one of the turtles out of the tank and starts munching on him like he just ordered from Chick-fil-A or something. But she's like in shock because she just saw a real monster. Well, of course, it's the whole cry wolf thing. She goes home, tells her parents, "Mom, Dad, I saw a real monster." And they're like, "Fuck you, go upstairs, do your homework, bitch." And she gets pissed off because nobody believes her. But she goes around telling all these fake-ass monster stories. And then when someone really, when she really sees the monster, of course nobody's going to believe her. But she starts PMSing all about it and stuff. And she's like, I need to make my parents know, or I need to make them know. But at first she doesn't believe what she's seen, so she decides to go back. Sees it again. This time she heads home, forgets her backpack, and Mr. Mortman brings her backpack back to her house, which is one of the biggest differences in the show. In the show, when he turned into the monster creature, she took a picture of him, flashed, and he seen her and knew it was Lucy. Even though I don't think he even had to see her, he just immediately knew it was Lucy. And he was like, "Lucy, come back here, you cockroach, you." And it was just very cheesy acting. But through the whole episode, he kind of just knows that it was Lucy. And then she ends up taking a picture of him, both in the book and in the episode. But one of the big differences is, in the episode, once she goes to take her pictures developed, she drops them on the ground. She goes to pick them up. Mr. Mortman shows up, and he picks up the picture that she had of him. And that's when the parents was like, "Hey, we're going to invite you to dinner for bringing her backpack to her." In here, she takes the picture of him. I think it was the third time when she sees him transform. She takes the picture of him, but he's blinded by the flash and doesn't know who it was that took the picture. He just knew someone was there. Well, she takes off running. She's got the picture. She goes to develop the picture. She shows the picture to her family, but it's just of his desk. He doesn't show up in the picture at all. Well, she tries to get her friend Aaron to come with her to see him in person. So they go to his actual house. They peer in his window. He transforms once again. Starts eating a snail. Starts eating random fish out of his aquarium. And she sees the whole thing. But apparently Aaron is a big dipshit and is not paying no attention. So he tries to go on the other side and get a ladder or something. She ends up falling off of the wheelbarrow she's standing on. Scrapes the side of the house. She makes a loud noise. And of course, that's when Mr. Mortman peers out his window like, and sees her. And that's when he realizes it was Lucy the whole time. And he goes after her. Now, one of the things I really like about the book compared to the episode is there's a lot of action that happens in the book. In the episode, he knows it's her throughout the majority of the episode, but he doesn't do nothing about it. Yes, he comes to her house acting like a big creeper. "Can I come in?" It's like he's a vampire. He can't come in unless he's invited. But he's all like, "Can I come in? Can I try some of your goodies? And, can I eat a little of your finger? Can you buy me a drink?" But, she sees him. She knows he knows that she knows that he knows that she is the one that's been spying on him. She tries to get away, but he comes outside and grabs her arm. And he doesn't look like a monster at this point. But he's like, "It was you, blah, blah, blah. Or no, he doesn't say it was you. He just like, what are you doing here? It's so late. She makes up some bullshit story about how she came all this way to tell him that she's going to be late for her reading class. And she leaves. Well, parents, of course, don't believe her still. Next day, she is forced to go to his class. She ends up there. It's crowded, but it ends up being just her and him at some point. He locks the library door, turns to the monster, and that is where all the really cool action starts. He goes for her. She hits him in the stomach with the backpack. She runs right to the corner. I mean, it's a lot of action, and I really wished that they would have put that in the episode. I would have loved to have seen her flop that weird looking, you know, the movie Split? That's what the guy looks like. He looks like the guy from Split. He looks like some guy's rapist uncle. You know, the ones you don't want hanging around during birthday parties and stuff. Well, she flops him in the stomach, runs to the corner, and then she knocks over his card catalog thing. And of course, he's a librarian as well as a monster, so he's like, fuck, and has to pick all the cards up and put them in order. That's how she escapes. Now, one of the biggest differences that this book had compared to the episode, which makes this book supreme, is the fact that Aaron did see the monster. Now, in the episode, Aaron had no part in seeing this monster at all. In fact, Aaron's character in the episode doesn't even matter. Like, he didn't do shit in the episode. But in the book, he finds out that he's seen the whole thing, her fight, everything. He knows he's a monster, and they go to her parents, and he tells the parents that, yes, he is indeed the monster. Now, that is when the parents is like, we know what we must do. We're going to invite him to dinner. In the episode, it happened right when, of course, she drops the pictures. He picks them up, stuffs it in his pocket. And the parents are like, we never got to thank you properly for bringing her backpack. You want to come to lunch? And it does not explain how they realized that he was a monster in the episode. I want to say it's intuition. Like, when they actually saw him, got to be, you know, involved with him, they probably sensed that he was a monster. But I like it better that it was like confirmed to the parents by Aaron that he was the monster. I thought that was really well done. Yeah, I get it. The episodes, you know, they're short episodes. I get it. But I would really have liked to have had that emphasized more in the episode. And I would have liked to have had that little action scene. They didn't really have to do the whole go to his house thing. She could have took the picture of him, had the whole fight scene, got away, then had the picture develop, and then go into that detail. Otherwise, the episode is one of my least favorites. But the whole thing ends. You guys have seen the episode. If you haven't, you can end the video now. And thank you for watching. I give this book a 10 out of 10 because it was so good. I really did like this one. Episode, I give a 1 out of 10. I just really hate how they acted in the episode. It just took out all the good parts. So, with me. But if you want to continue, if you already know what happens, at the end, I love the ending so much better than the episode. They invite him over. He's over eating a few of those little snacks, and he's like, what's for supper? And the dad's like, you are. And he's like, say that again? I didn't quite understand. I must have been chewing on these crackers a little too loud. What did you say? And the dad's like, you heard me. You are. And so then they just grow fangs and start munching down on him and eat him bones and all, penis and all. They just eat everything of him. And of course the daughter and the kid, her little brother, they're not scared whatsoever. Because they know that they're monsters themselves, and that, you know, they tell them that we can't have any other monsters around due to them telling other people and running them out of the town, stuff like that. What I liked the most about it is it did not have that shitty, very cheesy, very poor acting ending that the episode had. I could have acted better in that episode. But, in the book, they tell all this, everything goes down just like that, and then it cuts to her telling a scary story about a librarian kidnapping a boy, or trying to kidnap a boy. The mom enters the bedroom, tells her to stop scaring her brother, and she doesn't want to hear no more about monsters. The end. And I thought that was a really good way to end the book. It was solid, it wasn't cheesy, it wasn't none of that. It did have the part where the dad, after he ate the Mr. Mortman, he was like, burp, and then he said, pardon me. But it wasn't like no cheesy or nothing. Now, let me demonstrate to you guys the exact acting style of the episode. They turn into they grow into these snake-like creatures, and they like munch down on Mr. Mortman. They eat him up. They explain to the kids that they're monsters, that they can't allow no other monsters, same as the book. Then, when everything is settled from that, they look out the window and they're like, oh my god, there's another one. And it has this like little alien looking creature just strolling through the windows like he's looking for the nearest Arby's. And they grow the fangs, they're all ready to chow down on him. Takes the mask off, and it's her little friend Aaron. And he's like, what's up? And they're like, oh shit. And they fix themselves. And they're like, oh, we just ate supper. And he goes, oh darn. He said, any room for dessert? And then the mom goes, funny you should ask. And the dad's all like, yeah, you? And then the kids are like, looking back and forth at each other and to him. Oh my god, is Dad really going to eat him too? And then he goes, you like cherry pie? And the boy is like, yeah, sure, why not? YOLO, right? And then they start like doing this little giggle amongst themselves, like, and the boy pans back to him and he's just like, like whatever, I don't get the joke, because that's the terrible acting. Like, what is he supposed to? He's just, and then all of a sudden the mom just goes like some kind of little noise, just, and she, everyone's like damn, but they all look at her and she's all like, oh, excuse me, and she does this whole look. Like, it's a look like I farted and I hope no one notices, like, you're looking around like, oh, I hope they don't notice that. It wasn't me, I swear. But that's the look she gave at the end, and then they all did the goofiest laugh, and then it pans on to the girl, the main girl of the story, Lucy, and she's all like, and then that's how the episode ends. I kid you not. Go back, watch the episode if you have access to it. It's still on Netflix. At least it's on my Netflix anyway. But yeah, go back, watch that cheesy ass acting. I kid you not. That was literally exactly what they did. But yeah, all in all, the book gets a 10 out of 10. Like I said, it was my least favorite episode, so when I was about to read this book, I was just like, I really don't want to. It's not going to interest me much. But as I got to all the differences from where they went to his house, from all that stuff, I just really got into the story. So definitely give this a read, even if you already know what happens and stuff. Definitely give it a read, because it's worth reading. But as always, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the art. They captured the whole scene perfectly with this girl just in the corner like duck face. And they see this guy, and like I said, he's about to munch down, like he's either going to jizz or something. He's just like, yes, my precious. And he's got that big ass hand on a jar with a turtle in it. He's got the jar of little flies in the corner here. Random books, purple background with that orange tint room. So that's really cool. And I like how it says she's got the monster of all problems. So yeah, they did a really good job on the cover of this book. I thought so. She's telling the truth, but no one believes her. Not even Jesus. Lucy likes to tell monster stories. She's told so many that her friends and her family are sick of it. They've even got to the point where they dislike it on Facebook. Then one day, Lucy discovers a real, live, action-packed, chocolate-covered monster, the librarian. Mine was the gym teacher, but, you know, we'll get to that another day. In charge of the summer reading program. Too bad Lucy's told so many monster tall tales. Too bad that no one believes a daggone word she says. And it's too bad, so sad, tough titty big kitty, the monster knows who she is. And is coming after her is coming on her next. Reader beware, you're in for some scares, okay? Goosebumps. But yeah, definitely one of his bests. But yeah, that's been a review on Goosebumps. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm getting back into reading them, so definitely be looking forward to some more Goosebumps reviews. Hopefully, once I read a lot more, I could be able to start with my Goosebumps live again. That would be really nice. But yeah, until then, I will see you guys in the next video.